So, hey, I live for stuff like that. But hey, I had to realize sometimes, man, if I know ain't no anointing on it, and I know y'all just doing that just for sure, we gonna join hands, we gonna dance. Okay, it's too long. Come on, musicians, for what? You practice that at home with no music. Waste my time.
So you know how to cut them off.
Bruh, there, right there. Right there.
Right, cut them off.
Cool. When I'm at home and I feel that way, I ain't got no piano. I ain't got no drums.
That's right.
Now also, if there is, now I will say this, if there is a breakthrough in that dance, in that deliverance, God will let you know.
Yes, He will.
That's what
You
musicians
tell
tell
it from the real.
If it's there,
You can
I've
tell.
had plenty of times where I felt it. And God said, hey, stay right there. And get pulled over by the trustee. Hey, brother, we got another service. And I just look at him. Alright. Hey, stop now. It's a deliverance there. She needs this. Her life is depending on this.
That's right.
Right.
So you gotta gauge that.
You gotta know when to discern.
Yes, you do.
Right.
And also, with discernment, you have to do it in order.
Okay.
Because everything that you feel ain't for the house.
Say that again.
Everything you feel ain't for the house. Something God gives you for you. Has nothing to do with everybody else. It's just for you. I remember a time on a Sunday morning, we sang this song, and I felt this hymn in my spirit. We are standing on holy ground. And I went to sing it, and the whole church looked just like y'all right now. I was saying, we are standing on holy ground.
I experienced that.
Hey man, you done already started, and that's a long, slow, drawn out first liner. So I can't just end it until I get to the end. I can't say we are standing on holy ground and come on up, Doc. Nah, you gotta finish that. And then you slept there singing, and now the anointing, the spirit came and then left, and you just look at it crazy. So yeah. The next point, fasting. Fasting is very important. Not just to somebody, because when I was putting this together, my wife, God bless her, I love her so much. She told me, she said, baby, you got to realize who is your audience. Because you ain't talking to people that are just on the praise and worship team. I said, I believe I'm talking to the church. She said, well, make sure this is tailored to that. Fasting is key, not just as a singer, not just as a musician, not just as a lay member, not just as a clergyman, not as a pastor, but for every member. It is vital that you pray and you fast.
Right.
The last key point of the whole armor of God is praying always with all prayer and supplication, always for the benefit of the saints.
That's right.
Fasting. At my church, we fast every Wednesday. It doesn't, I'm going to say this about fasting. My personal belief. It doesn't always have to be food. I understand some people take medications that they don't, so they have to eat. Cool. I'm not telling anybody go out there, hey, this guy came, this young black boy came and told us that we need to fast from 6 to 6 in 24 hours. No, not what I'm saying. But you got to give up something. If it's not food, if you can't do food, you got to give up something that means something to you. Something that is required, something that's going to be a sacrifice. Me, I had to tailor my fasting. When I used to work third shift, it didn't make sense for me to work to fast 6 to 6. It didn't, because I would be asleep half the day. I won't eat until third shift, so I would fast from 6. Okay. My wife Baby's coming in. Yes. What was I saying? Oh yeah. What point is that?
No, fast.
Talking about fasting.
Fast, okay.
My
Sorry. Alright. It does you no good to fast something that don't mean nothing to you. What my time, since I work third shift, it was more beneficial for me to fast 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. because that's the time I'm active. When I'm at work, anybody that works third shift know that you eat all day on third shift. You don't always stand awake. You got time. You gonna snack. Grab this, crush on this. I had a whole drawer of snacks, so I had to change it. Some people would say, okay, man, well, I'm going fast TV. It don't make sense to fast TV if you ain't even got cable.
Right. That's right.
Like, oh.
But you know what? They've learned that here, and I do 2 types of fast. I do Isaiah's fast, the absolute, because I try to take my leadership into that, the absolute, what Moses did and Jesus did. Then I have a fast for those who are on medications, who are diabetic like myself, or high cholesterol, or whatever kind of high blood pressure. But like you said, if you spend 6 hours on the computer, turn the computer off. If that's your drive, if that's your passion, is the internet, get off your phone, shut your phone down, put it away. You don't have to turn it off, put it away, and put that time into the Lord, or whatever you like the most. I mean, if you like reading books, magazines, or whatever, put that stuff aside and open up the Bible and spend that time with the Lord. So, we fast here. I don't know how often people fast here. We usually do ours the whole month of February, because I wait for January to pass and then give them that time to kind of come into the new year. And then we'll fast the whole month of February just to get them acclimated into what fasting is now. How often they fast after that, I don't know. I fast all the time. The leadership, I'll ask the leadership to do it, but the lay people,
The thing about it is, and that's awesome. Like, bless you, man of God, that you do that for your congregation. A lot of people, a lot of places, a lot of churches don't do that. They don't stress it. The thing about fasting and what it means, something like you said, something that means something to you, is that in that time, it does you no good to just put it down and don't replace it with God. You gonna fast and give up something, and you ain't gonna take that time to pray or to read, like he was saying. Boy, you just skip the meal for no reason. You know what I mean? In other words, you was just broke that day. You just broke. You just ain't had no money. Like, hey, it's all good. It's all good. So, like I say, fasting is important. And also, all of these attributes, because we got some more up here. Discipline.
Yes.
You gotta live a disciplined lifestyle. Can't be out there just hanging and banging like my father would say, and come in and think that everything's gonna be great and you're gonna help somebody out. It takes discipline. Also, if y'all want these notes, like these slides, I can email it to you. I'm easy going first. I see y'all write a lot of notes. That's awesome. Look. Relationship with God. It's important. Because some people stop at, well, I got saved and I read my Bible. But you're not still striving to get to know God. You should never be content with where you are in God in one season as it refers to the next. If I was here in this place with God in September, I should not be in the same place in October. I should not be in the same place in June. I should not be in the same place the following year. Like, this is not stuff that I've mastered. This is stuff I'm still learning. My wife, she pays a lot of detail. She was like, hey, baby, I want you to go back and listen to some of your sermons from last year and listen to some from this year so you can hear your growth. And I was like, amazing. Some stuff that I taught, that I put out there, it wasn't bad, but it was where I was. But now that I've grown, I've seen now this is the second part to that. This is where you should strive to get to. You just don't want to stay here. It came from praying about, at first, I was married for 5 years, and I went through a divorce. It happens.
Welcome to the club.
Happens. Yeah, it happens. You know what I mean? I can go into detail. I'm open book anyway. You know, she decided she wanted something else that had indoor plumbing. All guys in here have outdoor plumbing, so you put two and two together. So hey, it is what it is. You know, 3 kids, and I was in a place, and at that point in time in my life, I had asked God. I said, God, I don't know what to do. I was angry. I had so many emotions. I said, God, I need you to take my problems, and not just my problems, but my emotions that tie to the problem. Because if you don't give God your emotions tied to your problem, you're going to pick it right back up through your emotions. That's where I was in 2015. Where I am now is now I pray against the spirits that drive that emotion. Happiness happens why? Happiness is a spirit. Happiness can bring tears. Happiness can make you smile. You know what I mean? But so can gluttony. Eating your favorite food can make you feel happy. So now I learned not just to pray against the emotions, but now in dealing with people on their different levels. When you're dealing with people, if your wife or your husband is out there doing something, or you got a coworker, or you got a boss that's getting on your nerves, you don't just pray about their emotions or what or how they're treating you or their reactions. You pray against the spirit. It's the spirit that drives the emotions. That's where I am in 2017. So now, when I went back and listened, I hear the growth from 2015 to 2017. And everybody's in a different place. So like we said, there are levels to this praise and worship thing. And it all comes to a relationship with God. With your relationship with God, it will bring discipline. It will make you fast. It will make you pray more. It'll allow you to follow the Holy Spirit and use all those same keys. I was supposed to erase that. But the anointing makes a difference. As the young folk would say, some people get up there and they sing no oil. I will say this about the anointing. It does not matter how great your voice is. If your life is jacked up, but you have a great voice, when you come in here to sing, you won't move anybody.
That's true.
Amen.
Move not a soul. So now we got the ingredients, and now we got the stuff. Now we've talked about just your life in general as it pertains to praise and worship. Let's talk about this. Misconceptions about leading praise and worship. This is probably the biggest thing when it comes to praise and worship, praise team, we'll ever have. Everybody reading that?
Great voice.
You do not have to have a great voice to lead praise and worship.
I tell them all the time.
A willing heart and an obedient life is more effective than anybody that can do a whole bunch of singing work. Guaranteed. If you haven't noticed, okay, I'm gonna use these people as examples. Not that they're not amazing singers. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But you take William McDowell. In my opinion, he has a very plain voice. Jonathan Nelson has a very plain voice. His voice is kind of straight tongue. You know what I mean? Like Jonathan Nelson, outside of his ministry, just hearing his voice, it's like, okay, all right. But his lifestyle magnifies his voice. You got plenty of singers out there who ain't the most talented or gifted. Kim Burrell can outrun William McDowell. She can sing him under the table, but his lifestyle supersedes his voice. You can tell by how he writes his music, the effect his music has. You don't have to have a great voice. Certain look. Some people think you gotta have a Coke bottle shape, you know what I mean, or the sing. Nah. I played in the church, you gotta wear, and for women, you gotta wear heels to sing on the praise team. Oh, what? You know what I mean? What? You got to be in club. You got to wear this. You got to wear that. The new form, the new span of young preacher. I'm sorry, I can't get this style. You gotta have shoes with no socks on them. That's not me. I'm just talking.
Right.
It's just not
tight
me.
pants.
Your pants gotta be tight. Sorry, my pants got to have some space.
Tie trigger, boy,
You
tie
know
trigger.
what I mean? You know, and nothing wrong with the style, but
Right.
this is me. Sorry. You see, you got some space in the shirt, space in the pants. They're not hugging up. Sorry.
Right.
I don't live that way. Sorry. It's just not me, so it has nothing to do about a certain look.
Right.
Right.
Title. What you said when I first met you, Pastor?
I'm not caught up in the title. I just told you my name is Tony.
Hey man, just saying. Title. Some people they go places, and you know what I mean. Well, I'm evangelist.
Yep, that's
such
how
and
they
such.
do.
Bishop.
So, Grand Archbishop, Apostle, Chief Apostle.
Mhm.
Ooh.
You got 5 members. What's your bishop? Oh. Come on, God. You know,
You
really.
That's how they do.
Yeah.
Overseer, don't even have a church. What? You know what I'm saying? You know, like seriously, like bro, you know what church you pastor? Why you got that title? Come on, come on. And sorry, me. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Carl, you put this on YouTube?
I don't have to put it on YouTube.
You can. I don't really care. You know, in my opinion, I'm leery about the age of certain titles. It takes more than just a great ability to preach, but you gotta have some life experience to go with your preaching. And that's where the real seasoning comes in.
Amen.
All right.
And what I'm learning, I thought the seasoning process was like chicken. We got any cooks in the house?
Mhm.
Seasoned chicken is easy, man. You just grab the seasoning, turn it over a little bit, season a little more. Hey, grab this one. You gonna pour it up there? No, seasoning and leadership, and then a spiritual authority that God has given in a certain sense, if we can call it that. It's more like seasoning steak. You gonna pull out a mallet, you gonna get beat. Depending on what they put you on, they gonna put some holes in you, stab you up, make sure you're nice and tender. They gonna rub the salt into the wound, you know what I mean? I'm a cook, so yeah. Rub the salt to the wound, season it, make sure you get it to the meat. And sometimes they gonna put you up, they gonna sear you up, have the flame on high, 2 minutes one side, 2 minutes on the other side, all bloody on the inside. Hey, Pittsburgh, I mean, that's the way it's called. Hey, that's the seasoning process, and it has nothing to do with that. Title, nothing to do with that. But
You go through nothing. They go through nothing.
exactly.
I know.
Like so, I'm like I said, I'm leery about that. Leery about that. You know what I mean? Some people have certain titles, and they're not. I'm not taking no shots at anybody, but in certain positions, I understand. You know what I mean? You're not being married, yo, bruh, yo. Temptation out there. Okay, I was married for 5 years. I'm only 28, by the way. Okay. So, I was married for 5 years. And me and my wife got married kind of quick. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. The window of living holy was the double doors at Walmart when I first met her. Before marriage, we was at Peephole. Look at that. Little small little window. That window got super small, super quick. Because I'm flashing. Cool. Hey, you know what? I don't live like this guy. Yo, the guy said, go ahead and get that. Cool. Hey, life's been great ever since. So, that. You can't play an instrument, you can't lead praise and worship. You don't have to be a musician. Lead praise and worship.
I don't have to be a musician.
No.
Amen.
Some people think, oh, no, well, I can play the keys. Cool, but you're going to play like one key. So, no. Let's cut that. Let's cut that. Cut it. Alright? Certain people think that if that don't happen, you ain't been in praise and worship. You ain't effective. If folk ain't slain out in the spirit, if we ain't crying and you ain't been effective. Cut that. Oh my gosh.
You say cut that.
Next point.
Shout.
This does not have to happen for you to have a great service.
All right. That's right.
It's not a mandate for leading praise and worship that people cry and people shout. At the end of the day, back to the spirit conversations we were having earlier and the emotions. You may sing a song that may bring a person to a certain point where they are overcome with grief and they are crying. And what's the first thing we say? Oh, go ahead, praise it, baby. Go ahead and get it out. Man, she's grieving.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with praising God. She is hurt. So she is pouring her all out to God at that moment. And God is holding her. You're like, yeah, just go ahead, praise it, baby. That's right. Go ahead and get it like, yo, man, she's hurting, okay? She's hurting.
They don't know how to discern that.
Yeah, they don't know.
Nah. So, but we look at that and we base our services and our effectiveness and what we're doing on these points. That was me. They used to bring me songs. Hey, bruh, I'm not feeling it. We ain't singing. Nah, I don't see how it's possible. Man. And then I was praising, hey, man, hey, just bring me your songs. Now, certain people bring certain songs that don't make any sense. As a minister of music, in my short time of playing in my musical career, I can't stand when people do this. I'm gonna look this way because I want to make sure I don't offend nobody. Sherry, you're gonna be Brother Rodney today, okay? All right, cool. Mr. Rodney, what's up, Doc? I got this song I want to sing, and I think it'd be great for the congregation, and it's by Yolanda Adams. She don't make music for everybody. She makes a solo song. I go back and I listen to the track, and she's the only person singing. I'm like, how are we gonna sing this? Who is going to sing this?
One person.
How are the people going to sing this? It's not even a chorus. It's a one-liner. Yeah. Oh, but I really love this song. That don't mean that everybody, we can do it. You gotta sing songs you can execute.
All right.
Nothing against Yolanda Adams. She's probably just the most popular singer that everybody, I want to sing this song by Yolanda Adams, and I'm listening to this solo song, and like, and it's happening almost every church I play. Bruh, where are we going?
Hit the notes and not carry those scales.
And then
Your
She's
point,
powerful.
your point
She
is,
has
if
a
it's a
powerful
solo,
voice.
then the whole group can't sing it, right?
yeah.
If it's a solo song, then everybody prays, the whole team can't sing it. Just
That's why you always go back to old hymnals. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, you sing songs that everybody know, but
Once again,
okay,
you're on the curve. I'm like, man, I'm not even ready. I'm over here chilling.
No, see, I'm with you because I had a group when I started pastoring here, and I dropped it.
hidden treasure.
I had to drop it because the people here, the first group of people I started pastoring here, the original folk that wanted to be entertained, so they wanted singing more than the word. They didn't want the preaching, which I had to wind up setting all of the leadership down. So I'm just saying, so I had to kill my group because of the fact that I took pastoring more serious.
Man, say so. People get to a point to where, oh God, service got so high, man. The pastor didn't have to preach. That is not your objective as a praise and worship leader every Sunday. Because the day and time we're living in a day and time where people will not adhere sound.
All right. That's it.
So you can't be so worried about them words. And the crazy thing is, if you're not careful, and this is something that happened to me, I'm not speaking about anybody else. I'm speaking about my own personal experience. God accused me of being a fornicator, and guess what? It won't with a woman. It was with gospel music. I said, ho. Spirit, what are you saying? This is impossible. How are you saying I'm a fornicator with gospel music? Like, yo, this is God. God said, no, it's a form of godliness. I was like, okay, all right, wait, back out. You lost me. I don't know what you're talking about. He said, funny thing is, you rely on the music or the songs that you like to get you to a place in me, but you never pray, you never fast, you never read your Bible. So what really are you getting into? You like the lyrics, you like the words, but mind you, none of this stuff is even scripture. That's taking you there. Crazy. Go put y'all on something. I am very much old school.
Mhm.
You know, you can't tell by that. So, it's a deacon at our church named Deacon Boy, and I admire the fact that the guy don't wear jeans. I had to act like, yo, D, man, I've been knowing you all my life. I ain't never seen you wear jeans. D cuts the grass like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sneakers on. Yeah, cut the grass. Like, bruh. Hey, man, to me, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He cool then.
Say again?
He dressed up to
He
cut the
cool.
grass.
Yeah. And you know what the crazy thing? You never really, everything's buttoned down, and when it's buttoned down like this, it's either short sleeve or the cuff is tight.
Mhm.
Hey, man. That's deep right there, man.
Mm.
I'm going actually, is it that one? Yep, it's that one. I'm gonna put y'all on to something that this is what I mean by fornicating with gospel music. It's this song here that when songs go to this certain place, I got used to the sound. So because I got used to the sound of this certain churchy sound, any song like this, instantly, come on Holy Spirit, come on Holy Ghost, hold on, let me get my eyes here. That churchy sound, alright, so we have churchy sound, right? And then, quiet, real quiet. This is Edward Hawkins, by the way. But going here, oh, bad, too far. Yeah, that's it right there. Don't ever get wrapped up in listening to stuff like this. That's it, C sharp. That's something my songs you like. One more time. Anytime a song gets to this right here, man, this church right here, man, if y'all only knew, this sound here would take me in. And once again, y'all was like, so what about all this other stuff? What about your life? You expect that? You know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you have that. And Sunday morning, I would try to listen to that before I got to church and try to recreate what I heard rather than give them what he gave me to give to them. It's not about the songs you like. It's not about popular songs.
All right, it's not about that place in that particular song.
It's not. Hopefully I ain't take up too much time with that one part, but I love stuff like that. Hey, it doesn't matter. I still love that, but that doesn't drive my relationship with God. Awesome.
You got a good time, brother. You working the way you want to work it.
Fast songs do not equal praise.
Okay.
Okay? We gotta get on that. Nah, man, I've been in many rehearsals. Nah, God, yo, we got all fast songs. We need to have some worship music, man. Slow tempo down. That does not. Okay, with that being said, slow songs do not need worship. They don't.
We gotta change our thinking on that.
Change my thinking. Be renewed by the transforming of your mind, man. It's not about slow songs. It's not about that. Next thing. Okay. Helpful tips and tools. So we done covered where you should be in your life. We've covered the misconceptions about it. Now let me give you some stuff that can actually help you. Praise and worship, my belief is this right here. Simple songs. Praise and worship is the part of the service. We have this misconception too. Now it's the part of the service where we all can participate in it. So why do we do praise and worship?
We said that right before the offering.
Hey, so where was everybody at when we were singing? Oh, I forgot. We was here for a concert. We was here to be entertained.
Uh-oh.
As my boy would say, oh, have you not been entertained? Wow. Simple. Interactive. That's why most praise and worship songs, they say what? Come on, clap your hands, right? We dance from 2 steps right, 1 step left. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? Wave your hands, thus an interaction with the crowd. So you gotta sing songs. You want songs to be something. Know your audience. That means you can't always do what you practice. Man, okay. Case in point. Get to these loops. I love technology. It's great. Also dangerous, but for what I use it for, it's great. Alright. Give me 1 second. My queen's here, y'all. So, back in.
I could have got the door for you, Rodney.
He right on the and you know, like with people that you know that don't
It's super
like you said, it's not in the songs or whatever. People sometimes play bad stuff, but it's not about it's how you worship when you get all, you know, praise.
You on point, y'all?
Oh man, yeah, he's very good. Very good. Love it. Y'all can get some more, cause y'all ain't nobody playing. Load it up. Sold it.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Queen. He said his queen is here.
Sitting here with you, like, and there's no social seating, that's why like Christina, and so. There's food and drinks and food, and if you like something to eat, and Subways. And Coke.
That first lit, I'm sorry, I didn't preach it. Sorry, how you doing?
It's not good, how you doing?
I gotta put my wife out there. You did not know she is an artist. So she draws, she paints, she does paint nights, she does some of everything. So hey, I gotta say that. Great. Alright, but know your audience. That means you may not always be able to do what it is that you rehearsed. What do I mean by that? Okay. Case in point, I went to a church and worship to cue loop. There's no worship stuff. The song was. Something slow and awesome, but it was a song that nobody knew, and the church that we went to,